Here's a little secret most men never figure out. Women don't get addicted to your money, your looks, or even the words you say. What truly pulls a woman in and keeps her thinking about you long after you've left is psychology. The right psychological triggers can create an irresistible attraction so powerful that she'll start chasing you without even knowing why. Hi, I'm Sarah, and welcome back to Be Feminine, the place where we reveal the hidden secrets of female psychology and attraction. If you're tired of guessing what women want and you're ready to finally understand how they think, you're in the right spot. Make sure you stick with me until the end, because once you understand these 7 psychological tricks, you'll see women respond to you in ways you've never experienced before. Let's start with the very first psychological trigger, the one that instantly separates the men. Women forget from the men they can't stop thinking about. Here's a truth most men overlook. Women do not become addicted to surface-level qualities. What truly captivates them is the psychological impact a man creates. When a man knows how to activate certain mental and emotional triggers, he becomes unforgettable. Attraction at its deepest level is not logical, it is emotional, and emotions are controlled by psychology. 1. The first psychological trick that makes women addicted to you is unpredictability. Human desire thrives on novelty and variety. When everything feels predictable, interest fades. But when there is an element of mystery, the mind stays engaged. Women are drawn to men who are not one-dimensional, who reveal themselves in layers, and who make each interaction feel fresh. This unpredictability sparks curiosity, and curiosity naturally transforms into fascination. Another essential principle is emotional depth. Women feel addicted not to shallow interactions, but to men who can make them feel a range of emotions. A man who is capable of being confident, thoughtful, calm, and strong creates a sense of richness that is impossible to ignore. This variety of emotional experiences forms a bond that feels exciting yet safe, and it is within this balance that true attraction takes root. These two principles, unpredictability and emotional depth, combine to create a powerful psychological effect. They prevent monotony, they keep the mind stimulated, and they anchor emotions in a way that leaves a lasting impression. Women do not consciously label these responses, but they feel them, and once they are felt, they are difficult to forget. And this leads directly into the next psychological trick, one that women can sense almost immediately, even before a single word is spoken. 2. The next psychological trick that makes women addicted to you is presence. Presence is the ability to make someone feel that, in the moment, nothing else matters more than the interaction you're having. Women are incredibly sensitive to the energy a man projects, and when that energy communicates focus and attentiveness, it creates a magnetic pull. Presence signals strength, confidence, and dominance without needing to say a word. Most men dilute their presence by being distracted, fidgeting, or showing nervous energy. A man with strong presence, however, communicates calmness and control. This calmness reassures a woman at a subconscious level, making her feel that she is in the company of someone stable and powerful. Presence is not about talking more or being louder. It is about controlled energy that radiates security. Women associate this with leadership, and leadership is addictive. 3. Closely tied to presence is the psychological effect of scarcity. When something feels rare, it automatically becomes more valuable. Men who make themselves too available lose this power because abundance diminishes desire. Scarcity, on the other hand, creates anticipation. When a woman senses that your time, your attention, and your energy are not given freely to everyone, she begins to value them more. Scarcity does not mean ignoring her or withholding affection. It means living in such a way that your attention must be earned. This triggers investment on her part, and investment deepens attraction. Together, presence and scarcity form a dynamic combination. Presence makes her feel absorbed in you when you are there, while scarcity makes her crave more of those moments when you are not. This push and pull keeps her emotions activated, and the brain responds to this cycle with heightened attachment. It is the reason why women find themselves thinking about certain men long after the interaction has ended. The next psychological trick builds on this even further, and it taps into one of the deepest desires embedded in female psychology. 4. The next psychological trick that makes women addicted to you is certainty. Women are instinctively drawn to men who radiate inner conviction, because certainty represents safety, direction, and reliability. A man who knows what he wants and carries himself with assurance communicates that he is not swayed by doubt or insecurity. This creates an emotional anchor that women subconsciously seek, because certainty calms their natural instincts of uncertainty and hesitation. Certainty is not arrogance. It is not loud declarations or false confidence. It is the quiet strength that comes from a man who trusts his own judgment and lives by it. When a woman senses that you do not need her approval to feel complete, her attraction intensifies. Dependence repels, but certainty attracts, because it reveals a man who is complete within himself. This inner security makes your presence magnetic, and once felt, it is extremely difficult to resist. Connected to certainty is the principle of consistency. Women become addicted to men whose actions align with their words. A man who promises little but delivers much builds trust, and trust is the foundation of lasting attraction. Consistency communicates discipline, stability, and integrity. These qualities resonate deeply with women at a subconscious level because they provide emotional security. When she knows that your words and actions are aligned, her guard lowers and her emotional investment increases. Together, certainty and consistency create a pattern that women find irresistible. Certainty makes you stand out in a world full of doubt, while consistency sustains the attraction by proving that what she feels is not temporary. This psychological combination keeps her emotionally engaged because it eliminates confusion while building desire. Women are not addicted to chaos. They are addicted to stability wrapped in strength. And this leads directly into the next psychological trick, one that strikes at the heart of female emotions and activates desire in its purest form. 5. Emotional stimulation is not about manipulation. It is about being dynamic enough that she never feels indifferent in your presence. When a woman feels emotionally alive around you, the next psychological trick that makes women addicted to you is emotional stimulation. At the core of female psychology is a powerful need for emotional variety. Women do not become deeply attached to men who leave them emotionally flat. Instead, they are drawn to men who can activate different emotional states within them. Excitement, curiosity, calmness, admiration, these feelings create intensity, and intensity becomes addictive. She begins to associate you with those heightened states. This association embeds itself into her subconscious, and she feels compelled to return to it again and again. A man who can stimulate emotions rather than suppress them creates a gravitational pull. 6. Closely tied to emotional stimulation is the principle of challenge. Women crave the experience of working for a man's attention and respect. When everything is given too easily, it loses value. But when a man holds himself to a higher standard and expects the same from her, attraction deepens. Challenge does not mean playing hard to get or being dismissive. It means demonstrating that your energy is selective and that not everyone qualifies for it. Women become addicted to the pursuit when they feel they must rise to meet your standards. When emotional stimulation and challenge are combined, the result is powerful. She feels excitement because you awaken emotions within her, and she feels desire because she knows she must earn your time and focus. This cycle keeps her invested and prevents complacency. Addiction arises not from comfort alone, but from the constant interplay of desire, anticipation, and satisfaction. And this brings us to the final psychological trick, one that binds all the others together and ensures that the attraction does not fade with time, but instead grows stronger. 7. The final psychological trick that makes women addicted to you is purpose. A man with purpose naturally radiates direction, strength, and stability. Women are irresistibly drawn to men who are driven by something larger than themselves, because purpose signals growth, ambition, and leadership. Without purpose, a man drifts, and drifting repels attraction. With purpose, a man becomes magnetic, because his life has meaning beyond the pursuit of validation. Purpose ties together every psychological principle we've discussed. Unpredictability becomes meaningful when it is guided by a strong sense of self. Presence becomes powerful when it reflects confidence in the path you are walking. Scarcity gains value when your time is invested in meaningful pursuits. Certainty and consistency are strengthened when anchored in a clear mission. Emotional stimulation becomes richer when it is expressed through a life filled with passion. Even challenge is enhanced because your standards reflect the seriousness of your journey. When a man embodies purpose, he no longer needs to chase. Women sense this immediately because purpose cannot be faked. It shows in the way you carry yourself, in your discipline, and in your decisions. This creates the deepest level of attraction, the kind that lingers in a woman's mind and makes her feel that being around you is not only exciting, but also inspiring. That inspiration is the final layer of addiction, because it elevates you beyond the ordinary and sets you apart as unforgettable. Now that you understand these 7 psychological tricks, you hold the blueprint for becoming the man women cannot ignore. If you found value in this video, take a moment to like it, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss more insights into female psychology and attraction. Your support helps this channel grow and allows me to continue bringing you powerful content every week. Remember, women don't become addicted to what you give them on the surface. They become addicted to the way you make them feel at their core. Master these principles, and you will never chase because she will be the one chasing you.